Welcome, free bitches. You are in the presence of greatness right now. To my bottom right, E-Law, Eddie Law, the keyboard warrior, and myself, Ashley Lamprey. I don't need aliases. I'm too white for all that bullshit. But with that same thing said, you're in the privilege of being in the greatest no modern podcast in the multi-universe, the Heel Hook Show. Now, this is going to be a weird one. We're not going to talk overly about like everything that's kind of happened over the last pay-per-view, and kind of basically we're going to kind of cover certain subjects that I feel that are important to discuss in MMA with everything that's going on. And you know, we're talking about, you know, presidents kicking off with other sports people and, you know, all that kind of thing. And we're talking about athletes right now and how they should conduct themselves. And I think it's just important to kind of gauge where we're at as a sport, as MMA is. I want to kind of delve into what your thoughts are on the whole kind of Colby Covington talking about like professionalism in MMA due to all the things that have been going on with him, in contradiction with how he's kind of getting a little bit of notoriety as well at the same time.
Here's a professional shit for your ass. Confirmed UFC 219, Jimmy Rivera gets John Lineker. God damn, boy. I just saw it right now.
Violence in leather. That's all you need right there, bro. Violence in leather.
That fight just got better. I didn't think you could make that better. If you know, I thought Cruz Rivera was as good as he's going to get. That fight just got better. God damn.
You know what's the only shitty thing about that one fight, though?
What?
Someone's got to make weight.
God damn it, John Lineker, you son of a bitch. Don't fuck this up for us, okay?
You put all your hopes up then, and I just thought...
Do not fuck this up for us, asshole.
It's like saying, oh, right, so we're going to have Johnny Hendricks versus GSP2. Great fight. You know, really want to see that outcome again. Johnny.
So you know what's fucked up? Someone said that I remind them of like looks wise that I remind them of Johnny Hendricks today, and I was so offended.
You do look like him. You look like the Latino version.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, fuck.
They're doing all these they're doing all these different kind of like genres of people. So like they're doing like SpiderMan's going to be this ethnicity in comic books, and like they're doing different kind of Barbies and all kinds of other stuff. You are the Latino Johnny Hendricks.
Whatever, man. At least I make weight. At least I'm working on it. Anyway, all right. Hey, that's a good place to start with professionalism. Not fucking making weight, motherfuckers. Get on your shit. I mean, look, if we're talking, I mean, specifically, let's talk about specifically Colby Covington, okay? Because a lot of people were upset about what he said about Brazil. Brazilians were upset about what he said about Brazil. Filthy animals, this other shit, whatever he said. It's all bullshit, whatever. But Brazilians didn't find it funny. They didn't say whatever.
Well, you shouldn't, because imagine if... Right, okay, so put it this way. Let me put in some context here, right?
Okay.
So, because I saw somebody put this, and this just blew my mind. Somebody put, I don't know how Brazilians can get offended. It wasn't a racial thing. Hear me out. He said there is a lot of white people that live in Brazil also. Right. Now, put this into context. Imagine if Colby had said the same thing at an African event, an Indian event. There's white people that live in Africa. One of our dear friends, you know, Nick Strickland.
Mm-hmm. It's fucking retarded. I mean, it's like people don't think things through, do they? Because I mean, we're going off of that. Like, that's not bad. That's not racial. There's white people in Brazil. So what? There's white people here in the States, and I get and when I was growing up, I got a bunch of racial shit too. In that case, you fucking assholes go to fucking hell too. What the fuck? Now, Covington just pissed off an entire country. The other guy that did it was Chael Sonnen. Now, here's the difference between him and what somebody else did with the whole, you know, I'll go to your favela and take over your shit. What Sonnen did was offend pretty much the entire country. Like, you guys have internet here? Like, in a joking way. I don't think he called them filthy animals ever, okay? And two, Sonnen did it fully knowing these people are, you know, will get offended, right?
Exactly.
And so it was just crazy. Covington, I think, I mean, for lack of a better term, I think he's a fool. I think he is not. I think he's trying to be smart. He's trying to promote himself. And look, that's a good effort. It's a good effort. Misguided as it is, it's a good effort. But I mean, some of the shit he said about Brazil, what the fuck? So I'm not surprised Verdun smacked him. Well, and with a fucking boomerang. I mean, how much better? Look, that wasn't rehearsed. Okay, if people were wondering, that boomerang was given to Verdun by a fan.
Yeah.
Minutes before, or a little bit before, he threw it at Covington. That just happened to be there, and it's the most like perfect coincidence ever.
Only in MMA could that happen. Only
for sure.
Sport in the entire world could have the headlines: 40-year-old fighter throws boomerang at other fighter. I was just like, well, this is what makes it the greatest sports on earth, ladies and gentlemen. Now, to balance it out, you know, it's all fun. You know, we like the trash talk. Let's be honest. You know, we do like the respectable mixed martial artists as well, like your Damian Myers, etc. But you know, your Stephen Thomas, Sage Northcutt's, and all these other guys, even if we may ridicule them for being a little bit cookie cutter sometimes. But with that same thing said, there's a moment where there's a line, and I feel that we're very close to crossing that line of, do we start muzzling fighters and say to them, look, if you say certain things in the, you know, the come up to your next fight, or your next fight, you lose a percentage of your purse, because that was what somebody suggested. If you say something that's derogatory to a race, a sexuality, or any kind of that, it goes under a code of conduct, and therefore you should be, you know, punished, and that should go out of your percentage of your purse for the next time, depending on, you know, whether it just goes to the governing body, or if it goes to the fighter who you've, you know, said dastardly things to.
I think that's too much.
Really? So if somebody said something racial towards you prior to a fight,
I beat their ass. But no, I'm just kidding. I know what you're saying. But okay, I prefer suspensions other than and not. I mean, look, the military thing makes sense, right? But again, we're in the fucking. I mean, have you ever said anything crazy in pro wrestling that people were like, "What the fuck did they just say?" I mean, I'm sure it's happened, right? A handful of times at least.
To a degree, but obviously there's boundaries. They know how far to go. Like, they know how far to go because they know that what you would have taken into account is with that same thing said in any walk of life, whether it be performance or not, there's a line where you can get into trouble.
100%.
And there's numerous stories that have gone around. If you're familiar with pro wrestling, you'll know who the Dudley Boyz are.
Absolutely.
Yvonne Dudley. These guys were notorious.
Crazy motherfuckers.
In ECW arenas when they used to be in the bingo halls with, you know, 400 or 500 people, if that. And they used to racially and verbally assault everybody in the crowd and used to say to them, well, we'll meet you outside, you know, fucking we'll just fight in the fucking car parks if you want. And people used to wait afterwards, and Bubba and Devon were notoriously known, with amongst of other wrestlers, that were known for fighting with people who genuinely thought that they were tough guys after the events, because it was all part of the persona they were willing to kind of put out there, knowing that these guys, they didn't have security. Do you know what I mean? Like, they didn't have security guards. This is like 1994, 93, 95. Like, fucking, there were no securities, these type of events. And by that same context, they knew that there was going to be repercussions. And I think that you have to take that into account when you're saying derogatory things, and then you think you're going to get a little video on your Instagram feed for people to see that you're talking shit to one of the biggest, baddest Brazilians around. And then he slaps you. Do you know what I mean? Like,
look, it's... I don't know. I mean, okay, let's do it this way. When I forgot what year Dana White started pushing this sport thing, right? I mean, from the beginning, he was saying this is a sport, we're doing this for the sport, we're not. But it wasn't like seriously implemented until they started doing the TV deals, and they got Reebok involved and all the other shit. That's when it became a sport. So I mean, we're gonna if that's what we're trying to do, if that's what MMA is trying to be, or trying to get MMA to be, and the UFC specifically, then I'm down with the code of conduct with a fine, okay, not a percentage, like a set fine.
But
okay?
How does it work with that? Like, do you say, like, okay, for a racial slur, it's 50 G's. If it's a sexual slur, it's
Well, how does the NBA do it?
I'm not sure how they conduct this, to be quite truthful with you.
Because I'm pretty sure they do it just by I think it's at the commissioner's discretion. Dana White has a discretion. He's gonna take a whole check. I mean, do you leave it to the commission? This is a hard one. I honestly don't know what to do about this one because again, to me, it's fighting. At the end of the day, you're getting in a cage. I mean, one of the most primal things you can fucking do is get in a cage with 4-inch gloves or no gloves, depending on where you're at, and kick the shit out of somebody or get the shit kicked out of you. So if people are going to be so offended about shit like that, it's like, I mean, like, you know, how many guys we've seen in the last month say faggot or, you know what I mean? Or do something, say something just fucked up.
And we only saw reprimanded for it, though.
They weren't? No.
Only one person was reprimanded for it.
Right. But, yeah, technically.
Yeah, but that's the point. Technically, like that's all that matters. It doesn't, you know, at the end of the day, you know, whether somebody means it or not, like this is the thing with apologies,
right?
They don't matter. They're just, it's like, remember how many times were you in school and you got told to say sorry to the guy who you got into a little scuffle with? You didn't mean it. Sorry to that. You were just like, sorry.
Bro, that sorry was always followed with a middle finger as soon as the team turned around. I shit you not every time.
And that's the same. Are you telling me that certain athletes who have had to apologize in sports have come out and had to do a press conference or a statement, have not turned around and gone back straight into the locker room and gone, fuck these guys? I'm going to put this out there. That LiAngelo Ball, where him and the two other players that you know, said they were sorry and thank you to the US government and the president, blah, 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 blah. If you're telling me when they went back into the back, they were like, fuck, that was fucking easy. Fucking, I wish we'd have just done that from the start. Like, these guys don't give a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck.
They don't care. Fighters don't care either. So,
exactly.
Okay, so if we're going to start policing their conduct and what they say, first off, make sure you introduce and educate every single fighter, all 500 plus on the roster, about the code of conduct and the consequences, and then implement the consequences. Look, what do you do when with a little kid, or you know, obviously you're about to have your own, but with a little one, when he or she does something he or she's not supposed to do, some bad behavior, you nip it in the bud right fucking there. You pinch him hard though, like you get him. That way they remember that shit. Like, you want to act like an animal, I'm gonna treat you like one, motherfucker. So, you know, okay, I'm with you. A percentage of the purse. To me, that money should go to charity or something like that. I don't think the commission deserves a penny of that. I don't think the opposite fighter deserves a penny of that either. The fighter, apology, 100%. But that money, any money, should be to a good cause. I'm sick of commissions getting fucking fat off of fucking other shit.
I'm with you on that. That's actually a really brilliant idea, I have to admit. I think that if you put that to a charity of people that are affected by said things, so you know, whether you know, if it's a homophobic slur, then you know, give it to a charity that's helping with people that are, you know, suffering because they've, you know, that's how they, you know, their sexuality. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's a good cause. Do you know what I mean? I just kind of, I don't know. It's that thing of, because I don't agree with, in a sense, Verdum going up and slapping him. You know what I mean? Or allegedly, whatever.
Yeah, as awesome as it was.
Yeah, because the thing is, though, is my personal opinion, and this is just me being completely a fan and just being a realist. If you talk shit, there's repercussions. And 100%. There was no way in God's green earth that Colby was going to sign a fight to fight Verdum. That wasn't going to happen. We were not going to have that bullshit. So he was going to get away scot-free. And he did what all high school bullies do. Snitched. And
like a bitch.
Like, granted, you know, Verdum was in the wrong, and you know, there's repercussions you do. But again, both sides, man, this could have been easily. I always believe that the person who's at fault is the person who initiates.
Yeah, but the person who gets punished is the person who retaliates every time.
And that is why there's something wrong, and that's why we need to nip it in the bud, in my personal opinion, in MMA, because I feel that otherwise, because just say, for example, right, just say that we're leading up to this, right? We're leading up to, say we were up to 219, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just say that just in the verbalage of it just coming out of his mouth, say the fight was happening, Woodley versus Diaz, Nate.
Okay.
And Diaz turns around and just says, just the word comes out of his mouth, "You black bitch." Just say that one initial bit comes out of his mouth. we have a problem then, because not only have you, you know, technically racially assaulted somebody, additional to that, you potentially ruined a pay-per-view for fans, which is secondary. But the point is, though, in the global scale of everything, it can be preventable by saying, don't.
Look, and so we're saying, look, coming to should have said shit, Verdun should have hit him. Every action is a reaction. Everything you do has a consequence, whether it's immediate consequence or a karma consequence later on, whatever you want to call it. Everything you do has a consequence, whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter, right? So let's say Diaz goes out there and says some fucked up shit, which you know, it's not in his nature to say shit like that. But right. It's hypothetical. Let's say he does that. It's in the fight. It's on pay-per-view. It's on pay-per-view, first of all. So you can say whatever you want. Rogan could cuss his ass off technically. It's a pay-per-view, but it's just not professional.
Prior to the fight.
Prior to the fight, you're not saying in the fight.
No, I'm saying prior to the fight. Start.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a. That's, you know what that brings up the question, where is the line? Like, you know, from before 196 prior to the fight, McGregor saying little cholo gangster from the hood. To me, I was like, bitch, what? Like when I was a kid, that's what when I moved from where I moved to where I am in the area now, I moved from where I was at when I was like fucking 15, 16 years old. Right, white kids here, I got in fights a lot of the time because some motherfucker had the balls to call me cholo or some shit like that.
Well,
I mean, like, bitch.
Explain to the people, for people aren't familiar, what that term means, just because it's important.
Right. So cholo basically is like a Latino gangster, you know, gangster or gang member. Technically, it's just a short word. It's a stupid word. It really is, and it's not really like people get offended. Like people say it now, joking around. It's depending on the intention. That has a lot to do with this whole thing. But depending on the intention, it could be fucked up, right? I mean, here you get rednecks, you know, fucking redneck from just racist assholes, right? Mind you, redneck might be one of those terms.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like that.
No. I know. Full disclosure, that might be one of those terms. I just have a bitter fucking thing with racist people here. They're not all rednecks, by the way. Oh no, take it back. Not all racists are rednecks. Most racists tend to. We can have a different podcast about this for hours. So I'm not even gonna get into it. Here's the point. Like I've had shit. I mean, I'm Mexican. I'm from Mexico. I was lucky enough to earn my citizenship in the U.S. and I fucking have an American flag on my shirt right now. I didn't even realize it until I looked in the square. You know what I mean? But you know, it's I've had racial terms thrown my way during basketball games. You know what I mean? And you know, I was always taught, you know, retaliate where it hurts them the most. When I was a kid, that meant beat the fuck out of somebody. You know what I mean? When I turned 18 or, you know, of age to be tried as an adult in court, that became embarrassed the fuck out of them with anything you got. You know what I mean? So it just depends on I mean, okay, let me fucking backtrack. I already went off on a stupid tangent. Where's the line here from it's good for promotion to okay, now you're doing too much? You know what I mean? That's where the question becomes. You know, when it comes apparently cholo gangster from the hood is all right, but you know, you filthy Brazilian, any racial, any, you know, N-words, anything like that.
But the thing is, though, Conor got.
Yeah, he did.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that is the key thing to this. And, you know, this is the problem that I have with it personally. I'm not defending Conor, by the way. Because I would like to say, though, that the irony in that, though, is he never said anything about Aldo's Brazilian heritage and, you know, about the Brazilians.
No, he didn't.
And the thing is, though, is I agree with you. Do you know what I mean? I think my personal problem is if there is no repercussion for your actions. Now, there was repercussions for Conor's actions for saying anything he said against Nate in that first fight because they got to fight. Like, regardless of the outcome, but they had to fight. Like that was something that was going to happen regardless. Now, I'm not saying that like as long as they're fighting, they can say whatever the fuck they like to each other. I'm not saying that. Mm-hmm. I think the thing is, though, is the moment where there's a law involved. You know, Conor and Nate had to pay fines for throwing balls.
Yep.
By the way, one thing that I never got to find out, if anybody knows this or if you know this, did any of the other members of the Scrap Pack get any kind of repercussionary fines, seeing as they were throwing shit?
As far as I don't know. And by the way, Jake Shields threw coffee and he tried to throw a laptop. I still laugh about that. I'm like, they're fucking, because I was watching that shit live and started throwing cans. I'm like, oh shit, it's popping off. And then I look at Jake Shields and Jake Shields threw a Starbucks coffee cup. He just chucked it. I'm like, holy shit. And then he grabbed someone's laptop, and just because they grabbed it right back, that motherfucking thing was going to go flying. Had Jake Shields thrown a laptop and hit somebody, I'd have been like, I'd have tossed the table over like, fuck it, just everybody fight right now. I don't give a shit. Regardless, no, they didn't. I'm pretty sure they didn't. Nobody else got in trouble. I'm pretty sure no one else got in trouble because
is when
Jake still fought like not too long after that.
Yeah, as long as the thing is though is when there's laws involved, that's when it becomes a problem.
Absolutely. So I mean, you gotta be prepared to pay for the consequences. But I mean, but you bring up a really good, I guess, issue, a really important issue that I just can't think of a real good solution to. You know, which is like basically like how far are you allowed? Are you able to take it? You know what I mean? Like the I guess the line hasn't been pushed that far yet. I mean, who said the craziest shit before a fight? And it's not Conor.
No.
I mean, maybe Colby Covington.
Yeah, you know.
Maybe Colby. Maybe. I mean, I'm sure some of the guys in the early UFCs probably said some crazy shit. And everyone's like, it's funny. No, I mean, but I mean, recently, where people actually, you know, where we have the world of Twitter, and all the social justice warriors just waiting to get offended about something. Mind you, personally, I'm not offended by any of that shit. I'm not. I thought it was hilarious that Colby Covington said that. I also said he better not fucking cross like an RDA or I also said Verdum. He said he better not cross like an RDA or Fabricio Verdum or someone that will actually do something. Those dudes are real. Okay, those motherfuckers are real. You know what I mean? But
no, I think that you've got to implement some form of deterrent, because at the end of the day, if we want this to be a sport and we want this to be entertaining, at the end of the day, I'll put it this way. I don't believe in my heart of hearts, and tell me if you agree. I don't think using homophobic slurs and racial slurs makes you a good trash talker. I think there's artistry in certain trash talkers that we've heard, and if you have to retort to those, you're not articulate. You're not. Imagine if we just did there's certain podcasts that I know that do this, and I can't listen to them. I think we can't listen to them where they just swear. There's no content to it.
Right. It's like there's some comics, and you can tell these guys right away. There's some comics that throw cuss words for the sake of having something for someone to chuckle at, right? So it's like, yeah, I was going on the motherfucking street the other motherfucking day, and the only person that was able to put motherfucker in there and make it a crazy fucking hilarious bit, Bernie Mac, rest in peace.
Yeah.
But you're right, to use a homophobic slur, a racial slur, even at some points, depending on what situation, a cuss word of some sort, or talk about someone's mother in some ways, it's a cheap way out. You know what I mean? It's a cheap way out. That's why guys like Son and guys like Conor, guys like to a degree, guys like Tony Ferguson in a weird way are
Tito
in his early years. A lot of those guys had the trash talk not as an art but as a tool, right? But then you have guys like Covington, like to a degree actually I can't really think of that guy right now. I mean, there's other guys that were worse. Like a lot of people talk about like Nick and Nate Diaz talk trash. They don't really talk trash. They're telling you how they feel. They're talking truth in their minds, I think. And that's not defending them. I mean, I think the worst you've ever heard out of those guys, like Nate going, "Fuck you, how about that?" Yeah. I mean, and Nick Diaz saying, "Where you at, George? Where you at, motherfucker? I think you're scared of everybody." That's not trash talk, really. But
the thing is, though, is that's just confrontational dialogue.
And you're right. So for people say that the Diaz brothers are trash talkers, not really. They're really not real trash talkers. Trash talkers, Conor, all day. Chael Sonnen back in the day. Tito T's back in the day. you know, Eddie Alvarez had a few nice little jabs here and there before 205.
205.
And then he got 205. Too bad that wasn't 180. Dude, can you imagine I was like at UFC 187 and someone started playing Snoop Dogg in the back? It's like 187 on the motherfucking cop. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be funny as shit. You know, Joanna Jędrzejczyk has had a little bit of tact. Not so much as last time. I didn't like the whole bitch thing. Although supposedly it was Pat Barry that called one of her friends a bitch, and that whole thing's a mess. But, you know, a video from like the background where she said she told Rose that Rose was Pat's bitch or something like that. It's weird. The whole thing got fucking weird.
Yeah, you know, spade.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, here's the point. He's just, if you're gonna trash talk, I hate to say it, work on your shit. It's a craft almost. I mean, guys like Sonnen, guys like Mayweather, guys like Floyd Mayweather have turned into a craft. Yeah. As lame as Foreign Voltron was, it still was worked. It was worked on. Guys like, you know who's the best trash talker to this day? And I will argue with anybody about it. Okay, to me, to this day, the best trash talker ever was The Rock. Well, and and that was promos, that was scripted. I don't give a fuck. That shit was hilarious. But like what he said,
as well, to be fair.
He what?
He stole a lot of his shit, to be fair.
Oh, for sure. They stole from each other. These motherfuckers didn't give it. No one had any shame at this point. The only one that was like super original to me was like Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair was original. Hulk Hogan was lame. You know what's funny? I told someone that ever since Hulk Hogan when I started watching pro wrestling, I thought Hulk Hogan was lame from the day I saw him to the day I didn't see him no more. And I still think to this day that Hulk Hogan, the whole stick was lame as fuck. But yeah, I mean, look, it's work on your craft, motherfuckers. Like if you really want to be known for trash talking, work on it. I mean, and if you don't have the wit, please don't. RDA, like RDA. This is RDA. It's the PSA to you, sir. Stop. Don't speak ever again. Just Frankenstein your ass into the cage, please. Don't fucking talk.
A little cool little fact for you as well with the whole Muhammad Ali thing.
Sure.
Just of people who have stole from people and stuff like that. Muhammad Ali stole some of his lines from Gorgeous George, the old pro as well. So.
I read that a long time ago too, and I was like, "Get the fuck out!" And I looked it up. I'm like, "Oh no!"
They do it all the time. Like that's the thing that a lot of these guys stole from pro wrestlers because that was their job. You know, they sold it to crowds. You know, the UFC are up for their TV deal. They're trying to sort all that out, and
that's important, right? Sorry, I hate to cut you off. That was the other part of my point. I completely forgot. The TV thing is important. You can't pull this shit in TV. Yeah. Remember Nate Diaz saying Conor McGregor, you took everything work from motherfucker. That was That was the longest bleep in TV history. You can't do that. So. For the biggest fines should be if you do it on fucking on regular TV for sure. You can't do that. But I don't know how you would model it, or like if you would model it after the NBA or the NFL, or if you have to come up with your own thing. Like, do they do it in boxing? I don't think so, right?
I know that in boxing, if you get out of hand, then you do end up getting reprimanded where you can't fight for like a year or so, something stupid like that. So let's
scare the shit out of some people. Let's scare the shit out of some people.
Ali acts, this Ali acts. You see what I mean? So,
by the way, is there any news on the Ali Act?
Apparently, one of the commissions threatened the UFC and Bellator. I just thought I'd point that out, but apparently the UFC was actually keen on implementing it to a certain degree. I think it was more so to do with boxing rather than fighting in other MMA organizations. But with that same thing said, I know that this congressman said that if you don't make your rankings more official and mandatory people fight people, then the Ali Act is going to expand to MMA, and it's, going to suck for you guys more.
The day after it's implemented. Yeah, breaking news. WME puts the UFC up for sale. Can't do this shit no more. Lorenzo Fertitta, and Frank and Lorenzo buy it back for half the price. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, could you imagine?
Oh, I would be so happy. Are you fucking kidding me? I'd be so happy. I'd be like, what? What? They're back? Yes. Who's better at fucking negotiating shit than Lorenzo? Nobody. Dana White couldn't hold Lorenzo's dick in negotiations. That could not even possible. Lorenzo's so good at negotiating. The hardest shit was worked on by Lorenzo.
Oh, for sure. For sure. He used to go and visit people, didn't he? And he used to fly out and make sure they were good.
Yeah, he fucking gave a shit. I mean, that's the point. Here's the thing. For just a little size bit. If you want to be a real leader, give a shit about your troops. All right, motherfuckers. And don't fucking just like, oh, you work for me and you do what I say. So that's a boss. You're a leader. You're leading out there with these motherfuckers.
Do you think he's trying to do the, and I, you know, the reference still keeps on coming, but do you think he's doing the Vince McMahon thing where he's trying to just draw eyes to people to watch the product by making it controversial? And, you know, like we have people right now like LeVar Ball and different people like that.
That's a great example, actually. That's a great example. Him and Trump, in fact, to be completely honest with you.
Oh, yeah, but I'm trying to get away from the political side.
Right. But unfortunately, this kind of thing is a politics issue. Like, it's not politics themselves, but it's a tactic that is used in politics so much that it's almost recognized almost solely as a politics thing. But LeVar Ball has made a career out of basically, you know, pushing it, right? Saying outlandish shit, writing checks his son's ass has half cash, not even. Like, they're already saying Lonzo Ball's a bust, which, by the way, he's not. Chill the fuck out.
Yeah, I was going to say, considering, didn't he drop 25 or 26 the other day?
Oh, fuck that. 2 triple doubles in the first month of NBA. Go fuck yourselves, fucking critics. You guys don't know shit. I'm defending a Laker. Jesus Christ. I just hate when people shit on like these young kids when it's not his fault that his dad's fucking put a massive spotlight on his son and he's having issues in certain games.
You know what?
Anyway,
I just want to say this real quick. If he didn't have the dad that he has and he was doing this well for a rookie point guard, people would be saying, this guy's got a promise.
Rookie of the year. They'd be talking about him between him and Ben Simmons. But yeah. So anyway, but I don't know, man. It's straight out of the book of Vince McMahon that you mentioned it. It seems like. I mean, remember Edge fucking Lita in the middle of the ring? A lot of parents turn that shit TV off when they walked into the room. They're like, "What are you watching? What the fuck is that? Ah, what are you doing? What is this? Like, were you watching porn in here?" You know what I mean? And that made people want to watch it even more. So it's straight out of there. But this is a sport. If we're gonna call it a sport. Well, that has to be toned back a little bit.
I think at the end of the day, you know, we are going to see that Ali Act implemented. Facts. That's going to happen. Like, people making out that it's not going to happen is like, if the sport is going to survive, which it will, it might have a dip. It might have a, you know, the NBA has been one of those sports that dipped for a long period of time, and now it's all of a sudden having a resurgence. I think MMA is going to be one of those sports where, you know, if they don't evolve and try to make it a sport and they just want it to be the old boys club, can't have it both ways, guys. You're going to have to implement some reprimanding of people using racial slurs and homophobic slurs. You're going to have to make your rankings matter. You're going to have to make mandatory fights. And you're going to have to start paying them more if you want them to stay in your organization and not go off to other places.
Do you think that the Ali Act will be good for Bellator and bad for the UFC?
I think it'll be good for MMA.
No, but right. But I mean, as far as Bellator versus UFC,
who gives a fuck? Do you know?
No, but that's not what I'm saying. I know what you're saying.
I know, but I don't think it'll matter.
You don't think so?
No, because you look at like certain boxing organizations, and they are still the premier ones, even if there is other ones. But at the end of the day, we want to see the best fights and the best fighters compete against each other. We don't want to see, right, and this I'm going to drop this in real quick because I don't want this to be a thing where we talk about it for ages. But for example, it were announced, I think yesterday or today, that Jesse Rose Clark, who beat Beck Rawlins in her debut at UFC Sydney, will be facing Paige Vanzant at 125 in her 125 debut. I'm happy with that because I think to myself, why the fuck should Paige Vanzant get a title shot after a loss? So I just want things to kind of be evened out. I want it to be a case of you fight who you're supposed to fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And look, I think if you remember what he said before, what she said before, I forgot what pay-per-view it was or what show it was, that she tweeted out, I'm fighting for the 125. Huh?
It was the last one.
Not the last one. Last one was in Sydney.
The 217.
Oh, 217. Okay. So that's what she did. Yeah, okay. I think she threw that out there. Either she's on some shit or she thought it was cute. Or, you know, she was like, let's see if I'm gonna throw it out there, and if people are like, fuck yeah, let's go Paige Vanzant, maybe the UFC will do it. Didn't work out that way. What I saw on the social media was what? No, go fuck it. No, hell no. What are you talking about? No. And then they saw that, and the UFC's like, no, whoa, we didn't say shit. Fuck that. No, we're not doing that. That was her. That wasn't us. You know what I mean? So that was, she was probably like, ah, shit, that didn't work out. No, I'm cool with it, and I got to see the Clark Rawlings fight. For being a short notice fight, Clark did well. I thought she did pretty well.
Yeah, she's a dime piece. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, well, good for her. Yeah, but yeah, he's a powerful Beck Rawlings at 125. As never mind, this will be dirty. Anyway, and to the point where I don't even want to get into it because that'd be gross. But no, Clark's a bad chick, dude. I think at 125, give her a full camp, healthy weight cut and all that. If she fights the way she did Saturday, she'll be a good show.
She'll be a big girl to smash up Paige Vanzant. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, imagine Paige Vanzant trying to fucking stay on top of her. That's gonna be tough,
bruh. I think that Paige Vanzant is a
Barbie.
Unfortunately, and I'm going to be fair to her, I think she's a casualty of this generation.
She's a promotion piece, bro.
Yeah, but she's a casualty of that because she's young and she has potential.
And she looks fucking great.
No, I throw that to the side. She could be a star if she was given the room to grow over the next 2 years.
Oh,
but they've tried to falsify her within a year instead of building her to the place that she should be now. There's just too much of a rush, and it's like we're seeing Sage Northcutt now. They've rebuilt him. They've gone, let's stop all this craziness and let's just slowly build him back up again. They've not gone, right, he's going to fight against, and then whoever the next fucking guy is. They've gone, right, let's just take a fucking minute here because we've got an investment here. And that's what they should have done from the start. And I feel sorry in a way for Paige Vanzant because, no, fuck it, man. If I turn around and said to you right now, you're going to get pushed to the stars, you're going to be headlining, you're going to get fucking, 50,000 and another 50,000 if you win, or 25,000 if you win, and top of a, performance bonus if you win, and I'm throwing you to the stars and telling you you're amazing, you're the next big thing, and I'm filling your head and you're 20 years old.
You're going to buy that shit. You're
going to run with it, man. You're going to run with it because you're naive. And that's not a bad thing. I appreciate her confidence. But the fact is, though, is there's people like myself who I just go, I don't think she's as good as what the hype is. Like, I get a lot of stick, and I get a lot of stick for saying Conor lived up to his hype. Every time I said he's going to do this, he's going to do that. And I always got a lot of heat from it over this past few years.
Yeah.
But there's certain people that go on and do it. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people criticized certain people I know for saying Max Holloway was going to be a star. I didn't think that Max Holloway was going to be able to grow the way he did. And I'm happy to say I was wrong. But he had time.
I remember when he came in, they were like throwing him. I mean, we didn't know anything about Conor when he fought him. We didn't know shit about him. So that was just I was just like, okay, that makes sense, whatever. But I knew Max Holloway was going to be good. And I knew he was going to be special. I didn't think he was going to be like a superstar. He's still working on that. I mean, to be completely honest, right? He defends the belt a couple of times. You can start throwing him in there, but I was kind of happy with the way he took the road he took to where he's at, because it was pretty much as relaxed or as on point to building somebody as the UFC has done in forever. You know what I mean? There's guys that ask for the spotlight. Conor, Chael Sonnen, even though Chael Sonnen was already older, so okay, I take back Chael Sonnen, but Conor, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Valentina Shevchenko, Ronda. There's certain fighters or certain personalities that they go, give me the big fight. I don't give a fuck if I only have one fight, one professional win. Give me that big fight. And there's other kids that are like, hey, I'm here. All right, win this fight. All right, I won. Now what? Oh shit, that was pretty cool. You look pretty good. Nice long blonde hair, nice body on you. You did Dancing with the Stars. You look really good doing that.
That was another thing. Come on.
Yeah, it was weird. That's the crossover effect that everyone wants. But and then they're like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and throw you a killer. Here's Michelle Waterson. Oh shit, we fucked that up. I mean, but they told her like, oh, you can beat her. She was an atom weight. She can't beat you. You could hold her down. You could ground and pound her. No, you can get choked out. You can catch this choke here, motherfucker. You can catch this choke. Okay. Who else beat her? Rose? Didn't Rose fuck her up too?
Dominated her from beginning to end, and it was violent.
Yeah, here's some early video on Rose. Go ahead and study that. You can totally beat her, dude. If you beat her, bomb show. You're gonna fight for the title. You're gonna get that title shot. Oh shit, ran into a real one. Got girls like Paige VanZant, people, kids. I mean, Sage Northcutt. You just like you were saying, he's an example of that. Yeah, go ahead and kick the shit out of who did he kick the shit out of?
That fucking jobber at the first fight. I can't remember his
name. I don't remember his name, but he fucked him up. Okay. And then they were like, "Oh, well, yeah, Mickey, go. Here you go." Oh shit! I'm gonna tap early because I've never been put in this choke before, or I don't train enough. I'm too young and inexperienced to know that I can get out of this.
And the strep throat one, where he got caught in the arm triangle as well. From
yeah, exactly. So if you don't give these kids who are literally kids, Sage Northcutt just finished school. He just finished school. Motherfuckers, a professional fighter was in school, okay? If you think with school and life and everything, this kid's got enough time to grow like you wanted to into a multi-million-dollar, draw, you're kidding yourself. Kids are kids. They need to grow. Paige VanZant and Sage Northcutt were for sure thrown to the fire too early. Ronda, Conor McGregor, people like that were ready for it because those are special human beings. And there's only a handful around. You can't try and throw these kids in there and expect them to live up to that same type of star.
Do you think? Do you think that we will see the UFC take a step back and try and develop stars rather than trying to push them?
No, I think they're gonna keep doing what they're doing. I think it's gonna be up to the fighters and their own managers to say, hey, fucking, who's the kid? The kid from Mexico, fucking bad motherfucker.
Yeah, Rodriguez.
Yeah, if you could rewind, right? If you could rewind before the Edgar fight, hey, how about Frankie Edgar? His manager said, you're not ready. Why? How's your wrestling? Here, let me shoot on you. I took you down. I'm a 55-year-old man. I just took you down. No, thanks UFC. We'll thank you, but no thank you. We're not ready for that one. Go get your ass to Izzy Styles right now and go train for 2 years straight, okay, before you take a fight like Frank Edgar. You can fight somebody else meanwhile, but not the former lightweight champion that should honestly be a fucking bantamweight, okay? Not that guy. Who's young as shit? What they're trying to do with Sergio Pettis, trying to throw him in there with Demetrius Johnson.
Yeah.
Sergio Pettis' brother, honestly, Anthony, and his manager should be like, no, thank you. We're good. We're going to keep sharpening this fucking little piece of iron here that we call Sergio until we're ready. Oh, but we have nobody else. He could do. No, go fuck yourself. Unless you're paying us millions of dollars. We're not doing that shit. Keep grinding, dude. Give me somebody else. Keep grinding. It's look, they're fucking adults. Even though most of them are in their early 20s, they're still adults. And you have managers for a reason. Managers are there to protect your fucking interests. Get a better manager if he sucks. Because how many times have we heard so-and-so turn that fight down? And fighters come out, everyone's turning fights down against me. And then you look at the list of people or you hear about the names that turned down that fight, and you go, yeah, I turned it down too if I was that guy. Or I turned it down too if I was that guy. You know what I mean? It's just, there's some managers that are good at their jobs and some fighters that have their heads on straight, like a Carlos Condit. And then there's guys like every failed young prospect ever, basically. I mean, think about it. Henry Cejudo comes out with a huge amount of hype. Go ahead and fight Demetrius Johnson. Oh, shit. He's a real one. I fucked up. I should have fought 3 or 4 more guys to get myself mentally and physically ready and experienced. Look, people want to bullshit that experience is nothing. Experience is everything, to me, in my opinion.
Did you see, just a side note, did you see Jose Aldo's comments on Anderson Silva's recent USADA?
Oh, Jesus. Did he say, I fucked up, I gave him some of my dick pills?
He turned around and says he's very surprised and he believes that he'll be found innocent because he has the same doctor as him.
UFC 218 needs a replacement for the replacement. Who's in? Who's in for this shit? Can we get
Brian Ortega? Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Go down. Booked. Number 15 ranked, whoever the fuck. Get in there. Let's go. Put on a show. God damn it.
Oh, I think it was
okay. Put that on the list of shit you shouldn't say before your fight.
I believe it was Justin Go Lightly who. Yeah, no, right. So I quote. This is from Justin Golightly, Secret Moves MMA, if you're on Twitter. Jose Aldo, Anderson Silva has the same doctor as me. After UFC 218, breaking Jose Aldo flag for potential anti-doping violation.
They might flag him today, just in case.
But yeah, he did recently an interview on Flow Combat and did Jose Aldo. So,
by the way, I liked Holly's response, and I read a transcript of it because I can't listen to that show because it's awful. The 8-hour show. But I like how Holly responded to the PED accusations. You know what I mean? I
agree, man.
I'm a big fan of how she did it, because she goes, look, just because I'm not, every single day putting up the little fucking paper that the USADA gives you, like, I'm a clean fighter, look, every day on Instagram or on Twitter, doesn't mean shit. I haven't failed.
She's getting tested more than Cyborg is as well.
Way more than Cyborg.
Which is
I don't know why. Huh? But yeah, big time irony. Cyborg should justly so be the most tested athlete in the UFC. Bar none. No. Bar none. And I'll tell you why. Because she took steroids, got caught, and she was allowed to beat the shit out of women. That is battery. What the fuck are we talking about? Look, I get it. Cyborg Nation's gonna come after my ass. Mercy and all her friends. For sure, I get it. I totally get it. All right. It's in the past. It was a while ago. She's clean now. Totally believe she's clean now. Okay. But the chick that actually tested positive for steroids is going after the chick that's never tested positive for anything. Okay.
Ooh. Jose Aldo has said he wants to end his UFC contract as the featherweight champion.
Later. See ya. Good luck, but see ya. I'm good. I'm all right with that.
Yo, but if he was the champ.
Well, no, there's a clause in the contracts that he has to defend. There's always a clause in that contract if he's a champion.
But it's usually when you sign the contract when you're the champion.
I thought you had to sign it if you win and you're champion. You owe us 2 more fights. I'm talking more. Is that like status quo? Now, look, believe me, the UFC has some good lawyers. They're gonna protect their asses. He could say that. Now maybe he means I want to
be the fighter, though, was it? Jose Aldo wasn't supposed to be facing Max Holloway.
Fair enough, but you still have to sign that agreement to face Max Holloway again.
Yo, imagine if they hadn't slipped that in, or imagine if he's just not. Ooh. He's just not like that's not part of that contract.
Keep in mind, Jose Aldo said stupid shit before. So
yo, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, but if I've no, dude, Jose, stop it. I get it. You want more money. You think you're feeling disrespected by the UFC. I totally get it, dude. Fine. Fight it out and kick rocks, dude. It's cool. I'm all right with that. That being said, if he wins, people believe that money's coming. He was champ forever.
Champion forever. With that, we're going to move on to a little other subject, because one of our dear friends, our video editor, Lils, is going to be going to nationals.
Powerful Lil is going to be whooping some ass.
Her first jiu-jitsu tournament this weekend.
God, so I apologize to Lils. I haven't fucking reached out yet. I haven't had time. I'm going to hit her about this show.
Yeah, she's going to be representing Birmingham University at nationals for jiu-jitsu and gi. So we're going to do a little bit of a talk about like our experiences in first times competing in competitions and all that kind of stuff, because it's an interesting feeling competing.
It's nerve-wracking. I mean, look, I'll speak honestly right now. I'm feeling at this moment. I compete next Saturday. Next Saturday is under a week away. No, it's a little over a week. Sorry. See, I'm that fucking riled up. Me personally, I get nervous leading up to the event. Okay. And that's totally normal. Right? I get nervous as fuck. And I'm at the moment, like, this is when I'm like, okay, I'm starting to wrap things up. The weight cut's full on. I only got a few pounds to go. You know what I mean? We're putting in mad work, training. We're still training and all that. It's cool. Like, totally normal, right? It's when I have time to myself and I start thinking about the possibilities is when the nerves start hitting, right? Yeah. You see a lot of guys at tournaments put on like the day, like, my nerves all go away the second my feet hit the mat. You know what I mean?
I feel what you're saying, because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, when you're there, you're ready to go.
Yeah. It's like right now I'm like, come on, let's go Saturday. Let's go next Saturday. Let's fucking go December 2nd. Let's fucking do this shit, you know? And I'll tell you what, my very first tournament, I didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you. I'd competed in other things before, you know, team sports, you know, stuff like that. And there was never a sense of nervousness. It was a sense of readiness, because your brothers are with you. You're ready to go to war, whether it's basketball, football, whatever, right? In jiu-jitsu, it's a very lonely feeling, that to know that you're kind of on your own out there, right? No one's out there with you. So I mean,
one of those things that when you look at like how lonely when you stood on the mats and you get that.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it can. I've seen guys break as they're stepping on the mat, dude. I've seen guys already be looking for a way out. You know what I mean? There's one dude in particular, the first guy that I fought in Nogi ever, my very first tournament. When we stepped on the mats, I had already competed in gi, and I got my ass whooped. But I had already competed that day, so I kind of had an idea of what to expect when I step on the mat, right? I remember I stepped on the mat and I looked this dude in the eyes, and he looked like he had this look like that, like, oh, deer and no, yeah, right. But it was like deer in headlights look. And credit to him, try to take me down. He got overhooks. He got overhooks on me, clamped my arms in, walked forward, tried to trip me backwards. I went back. His legs let loose for some reason. I got one arm loose, and when I came down, I got my own underhook on the way down, and I threw him over. Right, getting the sweep.
Yeah.
Complete power move, totally unintentional. It was just instinct for me. It was like, retard move, like it's whatever. But it's you know, after that he was kind of lost, right? So when you go in there for the first time, I think it's important to go in there knowing like, hey, look, fuck it, let's see what happens. Let's have some fun. You know what I mean? It's try not to rile yourself up too much. You know what I mean? And look, and I could just be talking out of my ass right now, to be completely honest with you, because everyone's different.
Talking out of his ass, to be fair, though, because everybody's different. That's the point.
Everyone's different, yeah. Everyone's different, so it depends. Like a good way to put it is, how do you react to like a big test in school, like when you were in, you know, a test that could determine where you go to university sometimes, you know, or a test that's your finals, right? It's your final test. This is make it or break it. That's the kind of nerves you're gonna feel stepping on the mat.
See,
once you're on the mat, that's gonna go away.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the thing is though is it's fight or flight, and
fight or flight.
My honest opinion, when it comes to your first ever competition, as soon as you step on the mat, is I always think, do what you're good at. At that level, when you're first trying out and you're first starting, don't worry about anything else. Don't try and, you know, do anything fancy. Don't try and do anything that you're not good at. Purely try and focus on everything that you're good at, and defensively, obviously, prepare for everything that you're bad at. That's how I was taught as far as striking is concerned. Because if you're good at throwing out your jab, but you're absolute trash at throwing kicks, don't try and do spinning back kicks. Don't do a cross wideman. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, everything has its moment. Every technique is perfect within a moment of opportunity. But what you're best at is always going to be your best tool at any given point. So I personally feel that relax into the moment that you're going to be in. Just know that somebody's trying to do the exact same thing to you. So, you know, don't hold back. Don't try and, you know, think like as if they're just another person. This person is trying to do something to you. You do it to them first. And
they're just as scared and nervous as you are.
Exactly.
100%. That's never gonna go away. There's, you know, unless you get to like the Gordon Ryan level of fucking jiu-jitsu, where you're just like, yeah, you're all fucked. It's, you know, we're 3 months out of this tournament. You all got the L's. Just send me the gold medal. Fuck it. You know what I mean? You know, those are special fighters for sure. But just you get on there, they're just as scared of you as you are of them. Believe me, because they don't know what you're capable of. You know what I mean? As far as they know, you're a killer on the mats.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They're gonna do exactly what you just said. They're gonna do what you're gonna do is hey, fucking do what you're good at. If you're good at single legs, shoot the single leg. If you're good at pull and guard, pull guard. Jesus Christ. If you're good at yeah, I'm kidding. If you're good at judo throws, judo throw somebody. All right. If you're better off your back and you're cool getting taken down, okay, just make sure you get your full guard, your half guard, or whatever. You know, it's from what I found, jiu-jitsu has a lot to do. It's very instinctive at some point, right? My instinct when I'm on the mat is, okay, shake hands, go. Find a double leg or find a single leg. Take them down. Get the side control, isolate an arm, start looking for arm locks. Okay, you get put in half guard. Okay, threaten the Kimura. Get out of that half guard because they will panic because white belts, we don't know what the fuck's going on. Let's be honest. Okay, and you know, threaten the Kimura and get the leg out of there. Cool. You know what I mean? Get back to half guard or get back to side control. Get to mount. You know what I mean? That's what I know. That's my game. Is control, top control, side control to mount, arm attacks, and then off my back, it's full guard play, you know, break posture, go for Kimuras off of there. I don't go for triangles very often. I don't like it because my legs are too thick. So it's like hard for me. It's hard, and I'm not flexible. So it's hard for me to get that out there, you know what I mean? And be and feel confident enough. So I don't throw a triangle. I mean, unless it's given to me. And I'm like, all right, well, fuck it, it's right here. Hey, fuck it. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Work arm bars. So it's whatever you know is what you got to play with. And I don't know, Lils, I would love to get video of it and just watch it just because I'm just excited for her. I never even met this girl ever. And I'm so pumped for her. Like, for real, I'm super pumped for her. I'm more pumped for her than me. Like, I'm like, yeah, don't worry about my shit. Like, oh, who you know, what level, you know, white belts and all this shit. What do you do? Who do you know? Have you seen your bracket? You know, shit like that. Which, by the way, I don't look at my bracket ever. So I don't worry about it till I get there. I don't really give a fuck. However, my teammates are doing it, I'll look at their bracket and I'll research who they're fighting. And I'll be like, do you want to know some info or not? I'm a scout, bro. I got you. You know what I mean? And know that your teammates are going to be there with you. They're not in there with you, but they're going to be on the sideline cheering you on. And number one, isolate your coach's voice.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Quickly. My very first match, I couldn't tell who the fuck was who. And it fucked me. Okay. It totally fucked me. And that was my fault. Right. The next few matches, I had my coach's voice fucking isolated. It's all I heard. I didn't hear no cheers. I didn't hear no noises. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear his coaches. I heard mine. So as best as you can in the moment while you're fighting and get everything, keep your ears open and hear for that familiar voice. Because that's gonna be like an angel on your shoulder when shit hits the fan and you're stuck in half guard. Hey, you know, okay, let's start working up here on it. Reach back if you can, or you know, get the body lock or get the seatbelt from top and start pulling that leg out. You know what I mean? Like, your coaches will be there to give you literally step-by-step instructions on how to get to the next position.
My coach used to have a little technique of whenever we used to fight, and this was obviously when I was doing points kickboxing. It was really, really loud because obviously there were a lot of people that were stood around because it was like club v club a lot of the time. He used to say the name of our club, like the first word of the letter, like the name of our club, and then tell us what to do. So then you always knew that one word, because when we used to train, he'd say that. So he'd be like, say the name of the club, and then he'd say, like, do this technique. So then whenever we went into competitions, he'd say the name of our club and then what we need to do. So you always knew in your head that that was his voice because that is what he said and that's what he told you to do. The only two bits of other advice that I'd give, and these seem so small, but I think that they carry like a lot of help. If you have a favorite kind of music, if you don't fight well with being aggressive and you're a bit panicky, listen to the music that chills you out the most before you go in there. And I know it's so cliche.
Yeah. Lil's on the comment section goes, I'm gonna be arm locking bitches everywhere. yeah, let's go. Fuck yeah, arm lock some motherfuckers. Hell yeah.
And the other additional thing is take the center. Always center, because it'll, first of all, it gives you good positioning. Second of all, you don't have to go backwards, which nobody likes doing. No matter what anybody says, there's barely anybody on the entire planet that likes fighting backwards. Nobody does. And the other thing that helps with going forward is it asserts dominance, and especially at lower levels of like competition, scares the fuck out of folk.
Oh yeah, dude. People freak the fuck out when you come at them. And you know what I like to do? It's kind of a mind fuck for some opponents that can't handle it. Is eye contact the entire time. Like eye contact, like creepy eye contact at points. Like it's the funniest shit. Like oh, who was it? I was like
winking at dudes whilst he's rolling.
It's just like very intense, like eye contact. It was when this one dude. I was in side control, and he had wrapped my leg around. I have this fucking awful problem with getting fucking caught in half guard when I'm in side control, which I've been working on a lot. So, but this dude was like working on it. And I look at him. I'm just staring at him while I'm working, getting out of it, just staring at his soul. And I swear I fuck with him a little bit. So, but look, lastly, and it's cliche as shit, but have some fun, man. I mean, ultimately, you know, no one's dying in there and no one's getting any fucking billion-dollar endorsement deals. You're not going to get a gi deal and nothing crazy. Go out there, do your best, because that's all anyone can expect from you. That's it. And win or lose, look, there's winning and there's losing. Please I don't subscribe 100% to the, you know, you win or you learn. I don't like that because
it comes from SPG.
No, it's not why, motherfucker. It comes from everywhere else. I heard that from Tom DeBlas first. Anyway, no. There's winning, you win and you learn. No, there's winning, losing, and you learn from both. Don't fuck around. You learn from winning and you learn from losing. Okay, that's 100% true in life. If you don't learn from your wins, you wasted your time, and if you don't learn from your losses, you wasted your time, right? So learn from everything, every bit of the experience, and take it in. You know, take in the weigh-in, take in the bullpen time. You know, take in the, you know, getting in the mat, because it goes by fucking fast. And at the end of the day, at the end of the night, when you're at home enjoying a beer and your first real good meal in fucking months or whatever it's been since you've been cutting weight, you're going to be thinking like, oh shit, that was cool. And you're going to wish you had lunch just for a little longer on that. But then you're going to be like, oh, sign up for the next one. Cool, let's do this shit. You know what I mean? So like this one, I'm going to do this tournament, and then I'm probably not going to compete till like mid next year, because I want to get my back looked at and now my knee, but I want to get my back looked at for sure, and figure out what the fuck's going on. And then I want to get my weight under control. I have an awful fucking like habit of going from the 203.5 or 200 pounds to ballooning to like 215, 218 at points. We got a lot of weight, right? So, and I hate these weight cuts. So I'm gonna get my weight under control to where I walk around at 205, and then I don't want to cut weight for shit. So, yeah,
you know, shout out to Lils.
Can't wait
to see how you get on and everything.
That's this weekend?
Yeah, I believe it's this Saturday.
Oh shit! All right. Man, I mean, I know you're in the comment, you're watching. Hit me up on DMs if you know that will be broadcasted anywhere, because I know certain tournaments get put on like YouTube or something. So if not, cool. Just, you know, good luck. We're with you all the way, 100%. And just fuck them up. I'm just kidding. Go in there like Nate Diaz, like, what, bitch, what? Yeah, I don't know where she's from, but do your own version of Stockton, motherfucker. Stockton. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do any of that shit. You'll get disqualified. You'll get so
wide and just slap.
Just open palm, just little to the open palm slap. It's combat jiu-jitsu. Fuck you. Bah! No. But no, for real though. Hey, best of luck. We're behind you 100%. I can't wait to hear how it goes.
Additional to that, we've got another Brit competing this weekend in Michael Bisbin after off, fighting George St. Pierre, getting choked out. You know, is what it is. Went out like a soldier, but he's going to be fighting young Kelvin Gastelum. So in UFC Shanghai, because Anderson Silva got popped by USADA for, you know, some violation, dick pills, them Thai dick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's as far as the matchup goes, I mean, it's cool. Like, it's striker on striker.
All on Fight. Huh? All on Fight Pass as well, ladies.
Yeah. So I mean, you don't have to fuck around with FS1 at all. The shit part, it's super early. Like for us.
For you.
All right, it's like on time for you. I'm training, so I don't have time to watch it anyway. What?
It always amuses me whenever I see Americans complaining about times.
Oh, no. Like it's just, no, it's not. Yeah, it like starts at midnight, a little past midnight for us, and then it's like at 4 in the morning or something, or 3 in the morning, something like that, is the main card. So I'll be awake by then. So I'll probably watch. I'll probably get most of the main card in. before I go train.
Literally what our times are. Whenever it starts, this is how it looks for us. It usually starts at either 11:30 or midnight for us as a pay-per-view, like the Fight Pass prelims. Then it gets to 1 o'clock in the morning, and that's when the prelims start. By 3 o'clock, depending, maybe half 3 if all of the fights have gone on long, then we get to the main card, and we usually get it done for 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So I got a few minutes left here. So what are you thinking on the main event? I'm picking Gastelum.
Yeah.
Based off youth, he's not coming off, getting cracked around a little bit. And his hand speed's ridiculous, dude. So I like Gastelum on that. I think Gastelum's gonna try and take him down and try and grind and pound him. Good luck keeping him down. But I think it'll be decision Gastelum. I don't think Michael Bisping gets knocked out, but I think Gastelum or decision him.
I'm never gonna go against Bisping. I refuse, because these short notice things he can come through and he can deliver.
2 weeks out of a belt.
I'm gonna go with Bisping. I have to go with Bisping because the other thing is as well. The only reason that I'm going with Bisping is purely based on my heart here. You know what I mean? Like if we broke this down, the only thing that I could slightly give Bisping an edge to is the fact that he doesn't strike like Anderson Silva. He doesn't fight on the back foot. So Kelvin's been working on that for this camp and doing so much research. So it's a very different kind of striking that Bisping has to Anderson Silva. So that's the only thing that leans towards Bisping. With that same thing said, I think Bisping's best when he's doubted and he doesn't have like those long, lengthy times off, and he's kind of like a Cowboy Cerrone in that kind of effect that he needs to just be consistent. But obviously the risk is getting rocked again. But apparently he got cleared. I just hope that he doesn't get KO'd violently, because if that's the case, I find it so hard to imagine Bisping fighting at that match card. Yeah, I can't see it happening.
I wish he wouldn't have taken this fight, to be honest with you. I would have been totally okay with him going, I'm just gonna go ahead and wait till March. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't like this fight for him, dude. I just don't. I am good on him for stepping up. That's Michael fucking Bisping for you. That's a Bisping thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I'm gonna start calling that pulling a Bisping straight up. But I really do wish you would have taken time off and just get ready for that March card, dude. The last fight of your career. Go have some fun, do your thing. But he believes he's not gonna get. First of all, he thinks he's gonna win this weekend, and he totally could. And he believes he's not gonna get too much damage. Don't agree with that. I think Gastelum's gonna tag him up a lot. And we'll see whether or not he can make that March card. And I think he's going to do his best to make that March card, regardless of what happens this weekend. But I've got a lot of respect for Michael Bisping. I got a lot of respect for that man. 10 years of getting fucked over just repeatedly. Take a 2-week notice fight. You win the belt. You hold on to it. And then you lose to one of the greatest of all time.
Controversial as well, in my opinion.
Controversial. Yeah. Dude, you could walk away with your head held high right now.
I think and I stand by this, and I know certain people disagree with me, and obviously the comments when we were on Keyboard Warriors were very, very salty towards me. But I personally believe that if he'd have been American, Michael Bisping would have been one of the top guys in the UFC as far as like paid and favored and well received. I think if we look at his career, I understand some people want to be salty about him going against Henderson. I get that. I'm with you. He probably shouldn't have had that fight. There were a lot of other cogs that weren't lined up right with other fighters for him to actually, like you had Weidman had neck surgery. Rockhold decided to go play grab ass with fucking Demi Lovato. Don't blame me.
Yeah, good for you, dog. Hey.
There was a lot of other fights that were going on and stuff like that. But I think that when we look back at his career and all that he's done, it's one of the biggest underdog stories in MMA history. And I think in the future, you know, in years to come, he'll be one of those guys that we talk favorably amongst other guys that we kind of forget about them, but they're always kind of in that conversation. Like, I know this, a lot of people are going to flip for this, but like people like BJ Penn, like we don't talk about how great he truly was going up and fighting at different weight classes and stuff like that, but his name's still mentioned a lot of the time. Like, oh, you know, BJ is one of the baddest of all time. I think Bisping will get put in that conversation of not the greatest of all time, but one of those bad motherfuckers. But that's just my opinion.
No, I'm with you on that, dude. That definitely isn't a popular opinion, but I mean, there's something too with the fact that he's not American. There's certain guys like, you know, I've said it a million times, like Connor, like Jonathan and Jacek, that get past that in somehow, some way to just have that kind of thing. Michael Bisping's trash talk was never really bullshit. It was always what he really felt and meant.
His name was going to fuck you up.
yeah, exactly. He didn't give a shit. He would say, he was going to say, he would tell you, like, look, you know, for example, after the second Rockhold fight, Rockhold was like, I already choked you out once. And Michael was like, fair enough, but I'm coming to fuck you up this time. You know what I mean? He said what he felt was true. Went after it.
2 fights are never the same. 2 fights are never
the same. So, Michael Bisping, win or lose, man, I will be, well, after December 2nd, I will definitely be kicking back a pint for you, sir.
With that said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap this one up with the quickness. Shout out to our sponsors. You know, always check out bainstore.com, BAIN store.com. That's for all your jiu-jitsu needs. You know, Lil's be rocking it, Eddie be rocking it, I'll be rocking it. So make sure you go to bainstore.com for all your jiu-jitsu needs, whether it be your merchandise, whether it be a cut, it says white belt tears, whether it be spats, rash guards, gis, all that good stuff, or even artwork. Make sure you go to bainstore.com, use the code with a heel hook for 10% off. Secondly, Receptra, healing the bodies of gods, me being one of them, Eddie being secondly, and Lil's being thirdly. But there's many others that use them. There's pro athletes or former pro athletes that use it, everybody from Frank Shamrock to Baz Rutten to, God damn, I forgot the name of the, what's the Australian chick who's in Invicta?
Oh, Megan Anderson?
Megan Anderson, she's an advocate for it also. So check out all your CBD oils, body balms, body butters at Receptra. That's RECEPTRA naturals.com if you're in the United States. And if you are elsewhere, it's receptraglobal.com for all your CBD needs. And where can they find you at, Eddie?
Sorry, there's a Matt Hughes like interview that they just put up right now, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I want to see what he sounds like, and he sounds pretty good. You're talking to me, right? Sorry, sorry, my attention was just gone for a second. You find me on Twitter at Elo31, of course on Instagram at Elo7, and on Snapchat at Elo52. All the podcasts are on KeyboardWarriorsMMA.com. Still working to see if we're gonna have a show this weekend or this week because it is on a Wednesday night, and Thursday for us is Thanksgiving. And anyone that knows Thanksgiving, it's a bitch to prepare for. So a lot of people take Wednesday afternoon to get ready for that, and I actually work Wednesday night too just to get shit done. But I will put that on Twitter as soon as I know for sure who we're getting. I mean, if we're gonna do a show, and to be honest with you, I'm like 90% sure we're gonna do a show. So yeah, fuck it, just come hang out. Fuck it. Keyboard Warriors MMA.live on Wednesday night. Keyboard Warriors MMA.com for the other shows, and of course on iTunes at Keyboard Warriors MMA. Shout out to Represent. You guys are bad motherfuckers. RepTheWarriors.com. Get your gear.
Yes, sir. And last but not least, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, make sure that you like this episode. Additional to that, you can find us on iTunes. You can find us on SoundCloud if you're on Android also. So make sure you subscribe to those so you can get these in full if you missed any of it, or you want to listen to these when you're out on the road, when you're at the gym, or any kind of other destination that you are traveling from A to B. Lastly, make sure that you check us on Twitter, which is at The Heel Hook Show. You can also find myself on Twitter, which is Ashley Lamprey, ASHLEYLAMPREY. And also you can find me on Snapchat, just Ash Official. All the links are in the bio as well, so make sure that you check out those if you want to find us. From me and Eddie, whether you're a lover, fighter, or a hater. Peace up. A-Town down.
Let's go, Lils. Let's go.